Connor Shaw. Who?
Do you want that as your lock of the week?
Dylan Gabriel's not the guy. He's a 5'10", 5'11" left-handed quarterback. The odds are stacked against him. Dog. Still March and still madness happening all over.
For you.
For me.
My bracket's essentially now parchment paper for like peanut butter cookies now.
You've fallen out of the race for the madness in March. And
I better get going on my free throws, right?
Yeah, you better start warming up because it's not looking so good. But you still have the women's bracket. You know, you still have a chance to win that. So we'll see how that goes. But I think there's more pressing matters here in the room.
Is there?
Yeah. I know if you're listening on the Pulse of New Hampshire on radio stations, well, I recommend you go check us out on YouTube because we have a fully decorated set. Jay Dawg has been working endlessly, and I mean endlessly, YouTube, if you're looking at me, and radio, if you're listening. He's been working hard to get all of these set pieces. And Dawg, why don't you paint the picture for our radio listeners and let the YouTubers.
And also not just the radio listeners, also the podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
On the Pulse Podcast Network. I had this idea that we watch the Dan Patrick Show. We watch the Pat McAfee Show. They've got, with a podcast and or live, doesn't have to be, right? They've got something there other than themselves. They've got tchotchkes. They've got patches.
I think about this all the time watching Dan Patrick.
Stickers. And they have all sorts of stuff that decorates the set, almost like a man cave.
Yes.
Well, we're a sports betting show. We talk about sports teams all the time. And I'm a big connoisseur of collecting in the sense of baseballs and pucks, which you're going to see down the road. For now, though, for those of you that are watching on YouTube.
Yep.
For those of you that will see us as well on Bet This Pod, and that's on Instagram, as well as Bet This P on X, we're going to be taking pictures of some of the set pieces each and every week that we have, because what we're doing, painting the picture of this, every single week, we're going to have a different set. What is etched in stone for Dan Patrick and Pat McAfee is not the case on Bet This. I have behind me, whether it be, I got a hat on my head, the Montreal Expos. We have 31 teams, 31 Major League Baseball teams designated essentially every single week, something different. Right now, they got an Atlanta Braves 150 patch from 2021, a New York Mets Cup, which was at Citi Field in 2025. I got those both on the eBay. Also, behind me, you've got a Carlton Fisk 1983 photo of him that I just recently got last week. It's 1983 because you can see the patch of the 1983 Major League Baseball All-Star game, which was on the south side of Chicago. So that's Old Comiskey Park in those horrid softball uniforms they wore.
Hey, be careful. We had a White Sox fan comment on one of our clips recently.
On YouTube.
Yeah, and we might have upset some White Sox fans with our talk of the 05 World Series. So I don't want to upset the White Sox fans
My
too
best
much.
friend's biology teacher was a Chicago White Sox fan, and I would diss him all the time talking about the Cubs. So, I don't want to hear about the Cubs. John Hughes, I don't know if you know this, right? Because you saw Ferris Bueller's Day Off, right? Mm-hmm. As you know, one of the more iconic scenes is at Wrigley Field. Believe it or not, John Hughes was not a Cubs guy. He was actually a White Sox fan.
Really?
Comiskey Park at the time was not available at that, when they were filming in the spring of 85. It was not available. Only the Lonely, that John Candy romantic movie that came out, rom-com, that came out in the early 90s, they were actually, because that was filmed in 1990, came out in 91, same as the new Comiskey Park, and now known as Rate Field, right? They filmed certain footage there. In fact, they were the last people to film anything there before they demolished Old Comiskey Park.
Interesting.
So John Hughes was actually born in Michigan. That's why Cameron Fry is wearing a Detroit Red Wings jersey, a Gordie Howe. So he was actually born, I think, in Dearborn, Michigan, or greater suburbs of that, right? Moved to Chicago when he was older, right? But became a White Sox. He was not a Cubs guy. In fact, there's commentary on YouTube you can get of him doing Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where he says, "No, I'm not a."
That's funny. That would irritate me so much if I had to play a Yankees fan or something. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Not that it's the same as White Sox and Cubs.
Yeah.
But I would be so irritated if I had to pretend to be a fan of the opposing team.
I got a Tiger's lunchbox right behind there, right? The Bless You Boys, Eric, with the tiger that doesn't look that intimidating. Kind of has those little teeth, that kind of thing. Also have a Cleveland Guardians magnetic schedule, which I got, by the way. I got that while I was in Cleveland.
If you're interested in seeing the entire set, make sure you
Yes.
pop on YouTube and check out Bet This. That's BET capital THIS exclamation point Bet This. Check us out on YouTube. You can see the entire set here.
Button pins, bumper stickers, license plates, little mini ice cream helmets. Got a big helmet, the San Francisco Giants 1983 to 1993 with the SF that, you know what I'm talking about, the
Yes.
smaller locked in.
Yes.
Yeah. So the crazy crab, essentially.
Yes, you can find all of it on our YouTube. You can see it all on our social media as well.
What's going to happen is, Siege, as well, because you're wearing a Red Sox Fenway Greens, which are going to have, I don't think they're going to have that during the home opener next week.
No.
I think weeks after that they will, Fenway Greens, or they may move it to, it's probably going to be Fridays. And I'm wearing a Montreal Expos hat that I actually bought in Montreal, Quebec, Canada at a mall. Yes, they have malls in Canada, folks. I don't know if they have malls in America anymore, but a lot of stuff behind there. We're going to have some of that put it on Bet This Pod on Instagram. May do that on the YouTube channel as well. We'll see in the clips. Before we move on, I want to give you complete credit. And this was a fantastic idea because I'm seeing other people do it as well. The What I've Done by Linkin Park from Transformers the movie.
The video is good.
People are doing that left and right and center and all kinds. If you see it, folks, check it out. You really need to see it. It is me in absolute shock wearing a Giants helmet, that one you see up there, right? Also a the candlestick shirt, you know, that was the badge of honor during the 80s if you were able to make it through those tough nights, those rugged nights at Candlestick Park through 12, 13 innings. And as you know, that place was situated in a just cold all the time. Even when it was hot outside, it was still cold. Anyway, it is me in shock looking at the Bet This set, but you don't see the set. You see directed by Michael. So yes, you gotta
check
it out. It's
you gotta
fantastic.
tune in. You gotta check out the social media. Bet This Pod on Insta. Bet This P on X, and check us out on YouTube. Bet This. And
With exclamation point.
We've got a lot to get through. We're going to update our March Madness brackets today and go over where we're at. We're going to talk about baseball, and it's finally here.
Baseball's
Opening
back.
day
That's
has
why we're
happened.
doing it. That's why we're doing. And by the way, before you go on, come NFL football season, we're going to start putting NFL stuff, NBA and NHL. We're also going to have some college stuff as well. If you remember, I got that University of San Francisco Dons towel.
Yes.
When I went there in San Francisco, we're going to put it someplace, somewhere.
And we're also going to go over the start of the UFL season. If you thought football season was over, well, we're just getting started again.
UFL is back.
And we've got NBA, NHL, MLS, and NASCAR. Can you believe what's going on in NASCAR? I've grown up watching NASCAR. We have a track here locally to us.
New Hampshire Motor Speedway in Loudon.
And I've never witnessed in 30 years of watching
You're
NASCAR,
about that age. Yeah.
I've never witnessed what we've seen.
Well, Jeff Gordon had that kind of dominance. So did Jimmy Johnson.
4 out of 5. I mean, Jimmy Johnson, you can say with the titles, yes.
Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon was dominant, but not 4 out of 5 to start a season is unheard of. I mean, winning 3 in a row had never been done. So winning 4 out of 5 is truly incredible. So we'll break down NASCAR as well.
Jordan has the magic touch.
I know it's insane. And it's crazy to see how bad he was. We talked about this earlier in the day, me and you.
As an owner of the Charlotte Hornets.
How bad he was.
Just didn't work out. And for the first couple of years for NASCAR as being an owner, he was getting the sponsorships, but his
name kind of does that, though.
It wasn't working out.
Yes.
As it is now. It is really working out.
Yes.
And it is just, he's reaping the benefits, as are the NASCAR drivers who are winning as well. Just one.
The league in general, seeing like
NASCAR in general,
success like this from one driver helps out.
Yeah.
So we'll go over NASCAR. They've got some short tracks on the horizon and a decent fight this weekend. We'll see if we can get an update or two potentially.
Go for UFC
on our fight of the weekend. Nothing crazy. I know we said we weren't going to cover UFC unless it was a big fight, but a good fighter this weekend, and we'll talk about that before the show's over. And I mean, nothing is more important though right now than baseball. It's baseball.
Back. Baseball's back, baby.
And I know you're just as big of a baseball fan, if not a bigger baseball fan than I am.
It's my religion.
I know you love baseball, so it's such a great time of year. And you were talking about what was the Giants shirt you were wearing?
The
candlestick.
French first part of it, which is like the cross. It's like a badge of honor, right? And they came out with little stickers that people have put in their hats and stuff. And then at the end, it says Vidi Vidi Vixi, which survived.
The quad de candlestick essentially should have been worn on opening day when the Giants took on the Yankees.
It's not as cold at Oracle Park as it was at Candlestick.
No, but it felt like it was cold because the Giants were cold. They could not get a hit. They couldn't get anything going.
The damn Yankees at it again.
And Netflix making their debut into the MLB.
Oh, they made sure it was Netflix. Did you realize you were watching Netflix?
Yes.
Yeah, every 5 seconds they were promoting something.
Yes, I know. And I also just didn't like the score bug. Wasn't really a big fan of it. I don't think they do live sports that well, to be completely honest. But
they're trying.
Yeah, they're trying.
This is a test run. Again, they're only going to have the home run derby, and they're going to have the Field of Dreams game. They need to improve to get the Field of Dreams.
I like the big games or like the single events like that for them. I think that's a good way to test run it, essentially.
It's a test run, essentially. Yeah, you're right. But they had, again, they had every person and their brother on the broadcast, and also just so much promotion. As I said, did you know they were on Netflix?
What's up, everybody? We're coming to you live here from Cincinnati at Great American Ballpark. Opening day. We've got batting practice down here. The fans are ready to pour in once doors open. It's sunny and 75 and a beautiful day for baseball. You're watching Bet This.
All right, dog. It is baseball season.
I'll be there in Cleveland next week for the Guardians home opener, whole series against the Cubs, and then another game against the Kansas City Royals that Monday. Then after that, you are going to what I like to call is a bucket list event.
Yes.
He's going to Jackie Robinson Day in LA, and you know they're taking on, right?
The Mets.
They're taking on them right there. Those guys right there.
And it's going to be the first night game on the 4-letter network, as Jay Dawg likes to say.
And you've never seen the Mets, right? And you've never
No, I have. I saw the Mets.
Oh, that's right.
I saw the Mets against the Nats in the worst loss in Mets history.
You've never seen LA though, right?
No, I've never seen the Dodgers, I don't think.
Okay, gotcha.
And I've seen some good matchups before in my life. I don't know about you, Jay Dawg, but I like to. Some of my favorite is like one of my favorite parts about going to a game is the pitching matchup. Like one of the games I went to with my dad and my wife when we were just dating, we took my dad to see. I think it was Chris Sale versus Bartolo Colon.
Yeah, and
it's like that matchup is such a good way to describe like such a great game. That's all you need to hear to know.
And it's not always like that.
No. And that's why like having a good pitching matchup is always, it makes the game more exciting. So I'm excited to see who the Mets, bring out for that game. But I know the Dodgers are going to have a great lineup, and I'm excited to go out and see, like you said, a bucket list game.
It is. It's just Jackie Robinson Day. Doesn't happen every day, folks.
No, it's once a season.
That's it. They're all wearing the number 42. And I know you're going to be having all kinds of coverage there. I'm going to have coverage of the Guardians Cubs, that whole interleague series. And then that was 10 years ago in the 2016 World Series. I'm also going to the Cavs and the Pacers on Easter. I'll have footage there, coverage footage. Also, the following, as I mentioned, I'm going to have the Royals and the Guardians on that Monday. So.
Very exciting. We've got some baseball to break down, and I've printed out the Saturday slate and the Sunday slate for baseball. I don't know if you want to go through all of it or how
let's get to it.
How we want to do this season, but I've also printed out Monday. And I told you this before we started. We're during the college basketball season, Betheads, we gave out top 25 v top 25. So Jay Dawg and I were discussing about giving you a preview of some of the best pitching matchups, like we said, or some of the best matchups to preview during the week after the Saturday and Sunday slate. If you want to look into some other betting options or games to maybe wager on to make them more exciting for yourself, we're going to give you some of our favorite games to look forward to during the week or as Monday rolls around. So we're going to go through the Saturday and Sunday slate today.
Yep.
If you want, I can give you the pitching matchups. I have them. But
the games.
Just if that's specific, if you want it for a specific matchup.
If you see a pitcher that's of note.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start it then. On Saturday, and the other thing is these all start after we've been on the radio. So the first game, starts 2:15 on Saturday. So it may have just started if you're hearing this on the radio.
Weather permitting.
Right. So just keep your ears peeled. First game, again, Tampa Bay versus St. Louis in St. Louis. Who you taking?
Cardinals.
Heard they won the first one. Washington at the Cubbies. They got Mike Malakis on the mound and Cade Horton.
Cubbies.
Cubs, yeah. The Nats won. I don't know if they're going to win the series.
Never know.
The Athletics are in Toronto. Dylan Cease on the bump.
Oh, of course. I'm going to take the Jays.
Yeah, that one is standing out to me. That's actually my lock of the week, Jay Dawg, is not the money line, but a bet head. Something we wanted to remind and recommend to the bet heads is during baseball season, if you find a good pitching matchup like Dylan Cease versus Jeffrey Springs, and you think, well, Dylan Cease is a better pitcher than Jeffrey Springs, bet on the first 5 innings. So I'm taking the Blue Jays money line on the first 5 innings. That's my lock of the week. You'll find the odds on our social media.
Yep.
J Dawg, next matchup or next game, we've got Minnesota at Baltimore. Kyle Bradish, Taj Bradley.
I'll take the Orioles.
Orioles heard. Skipping the pitchers, although this is a good matchup. DeGrom versus Nola. Rangers versus Phillies. Who you taking?
Phillies.
Ooh, okay. Boston versus the Reds. Sonny Gray, Brady Singer. I said I was going to skip the pitchers, but they've been decent.
Reds.
Ooh, okay. Dog can't take the Red Sox. Are we doing bet against the Rockies this year? No bet against the Rockies this year. We'll have to wait until after the power rankings come out to find out who we're going to be betting against.
Yeah, they're really bad.
Well, we'll find our worst team.
Okay.
So who you taking?
It could be the Rockies.
Rockies versus Marlins. Who you taking?
Oh, I'll take the Marlins.
Marlins heard. They got some decent bats out there. Pittsburgh versus the Mets.
Mets.
We've got the Angels versus Houston.
Houston.
The White Sox versus Milwaukee. The only White Sox player that looked impressive in opening day was Munetaka Murakami.
Yeah. I'll take the Brewers.
The Brewers heard.
The Crew.
The Royals at the Braves.
Royals.
The Yankees at the Giants still.
Giants.
Can't take the Yankees, of course.
That's right.
The Tigers versus the Padres. Flaherty's on the mound for the Tigers. That kind of gives the edge there. Arizona at the Dodgers.
Arizona.
It's Erod on the bump, too. He's coming off of a great game for Venezuela.
Great WBC.
Yeah. And then to close out your Saturday, it's the Guards at the Mariners. Who you taking?
I'm taking the Guards.
Of course. And then Sunday slate, let's breeze through it real quick. Royals at Atlanta, opening it up.
Royals.
Heard that. Minnesota at Baltimore.
I'm going to take Minnesota in that one.
Heard that. Rangers at Phillies. Mackenzie Gore making his debut for the Rangers.
I'll take the Rangers.
Ooh. Yep. Like the Gore train. Athletics versus Toronto.
I'll take the Jays.
Heard that, Jays. Red Sox at Reds.
Reds.
It is the debut of rookie Connerly Early, I think he's still technically a rookie. He made a couple of starts last year, but rookie for the Red Sox, Connerly Early, making his start.
Reds.
Rockies at Miami.
I'll take the Rockies in that one.
Heard that. Pittsburgh at New York. At the Mets.
At the Mets. I'll take. Does it say who's pitching?
Yep. I've got Cameron Metazinski for the Pirates and Nolan McLean for the Mets.
I'll take the Pirates.
Ooh, okay. McLean coming off a decent WBC. Angels at Houston.
Angels.
Heard that. White Sox at Brew.
Take the White Sox in that one.
White Sox heard. Lots of early games on this Sunday. Most of them are before 3:00.
Yep.
Tampa at St. Louis.
Tampa Bay, St. Louis. I'll take Tampa Bay in that one. I think
Dustin May is on the mound for the Cardinals, and I don't trust him.
It's April. It's not going to be May. It's going to be May, but it's not May.
Washington versus Chicago and Shota Imanaga.
Oh, I'll take the Cubbies.
Heard that.
Yep.
And then the Guards and Seattle to close it out. The only game.
That is Sunday Night Baseball on NBC. And my lock, folks, is this one right here. Jose Ramirez, 2 doubles and a home run.
This is your parlay, you mean?
The parlay. That's right. The lock is coming.
Yes, the parlay for J Dawg.
Parlay is Jose Ramirez, 2 doubles, a home run, and 4 runs batted in. And the Guardians beat the Mariners in Seattle on NBC's Sunday Night Baseball.
J Dawg, you want to know something? I did a baseball parlay as well. My baseball parlay is Sunday. I got Brenton Doyle getting 1 hit for the Rockies. I've got Munetaka Murakami getting 1 hit for the White Sox. And I got Yandy Diaz getting 1 hit for the Rays.
Yandy is dandy. We'll find out.
And then again, my lock was the Blue Jays money line on the first 5 innings on Saturday
against the
A's with Dylan Cease on the mound.
Yes.
Make sure you do the Saturday matchup with Dylan Cease. That's why I'm going with it. I like the pitching matchup there. I think that's
Cease is hoping that the A's cease and desist.
That's funny. And then real quick, some matchups that you might want to just preview on Monday or the series that are starting this week. The Guardians, one that we talked about, Guardians and the Dodgers, Parker Messick versus Roki Sasaki. That's going to be a good one Monday night.
I saw Parker Messick in Tampa when I was in Tampa for the Rays and Guardians.
Yes,
we were playing at Steinbrenner Field.
We also get Justin Verlander making his debut Monday for the Tigers.
His return.
Yeah, not debut, but his return.
His 2026 debut.
Yes, and then I really think that's it. Jack Leiter pitching for the Rangers. Jack Leiter pitching for the Rangers on Monday. Thank you. And then Red Sox taking on Houston. Always a good battle, but nothing crazy there. So that does it for MLB. We've got power rankings coming up next. And Jay Dawg, we're going to break down some MLS and some NBA as the season winds down.
He's avoided March Madness. Have you noticed that? No, I'm avoiding March Madness.
Don't worry. We'll get to that in just a second. All right, Dawg, you thought you were going to skate out of here without updating the bet heads on March Madness. Think again, say psych right now, because it's time to update our brackets.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
The real big update on this edition of Bet This is Jay Dawg's winner has fallen out of the bracket.
Why did I take the Cougars?
Houston.
Oh,
Garrett, looking at you. You're a Coug. What happened with the Cougs? They fell out of the bracket. I had Houston winning against Illinois. That sadly did not happen. So I mean, my runner-up was coming out of that division. So I had the South going to Florida, and they lost to Iowa last week.
Yeah.
So I was already kind of out that way. But my winner is still in, and I am only 2 teams off from having a perfect bracket in the West. The only 2 miscorrections I got were I had BYU beating Texas at the time. It was undecided. And then I had Gonzaga winning against BYU, which Gonzaga lost to Texas. And then, of course, Texas just lost to Purdue, keeping my winner in it. So that is the update on my bracket.
For the women,
Jay Dawg and I
are a lot better.
Yeah, are both still doing very well. It feels as though I've said it on Good Morning New Hampshire. I've said it to you. I've said it around the office.
Yeah.
It feels, you can really feel the skill gap between the blue blood schools and the
UConn, South Carolina, and UCLA. They run it.
Yeah.
They just run it. Now the rest of these teams are trying to run it back. They can't.
Yes.
They just cannot. It's just the talent is not there. And it's glaringly obvious once the tip-off begins. It's that painful.
Now, you've probably watched women's college hoops, and we don't have to talk about this for too long because we have power rankings, but you've watched women's college hoops longer than I have. Do you think the NIL has created this skill gap or made it worse? Or do you think that this skill gap has always existed?
It's prevalent now more because the coaches have more of the emphasis on getting these kinds of players as well. These can't miss recruits. NIL hasn't really caught up to
I know women's sports, they don't get as much money, right?
They still do. And Paige Beckers was able to get something going, I think, for Wingstop before she got to the WNBA and parlayed it while she was in the WNBA. So she was able to get a couple of those things, but that's a rarity.
Mm-hmm.
Not all the athletes are going to have that for women in college. They might 2 years from now. At the moment, though, not likely.
Okay. So the skill gap you think has always kind of been there. It's just, it's maybe getting more notice.
Yeah, Gino Auriemma is one of the greats. He really is. He knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Aunt Staley, she knows what she's doing. South Carolina, they know what's up. UCLA, all they've done is hear about UConn and South Carolina. Well, now they've got a tremendous opportunity to upset either one of those two should it come to that.
That would be huge.
But right now, it's UConn, South Carolina, and UCLA for the women.
Dog,
Yes.
as you get ready for the power rankings, let me just look up some futures for the women's bracket just to see what an upset would be. UConn is the favorite right now to win the tournament, minus 250. UCLA is plus 475, and then South Carolina is plus 800. So those are your favorites there. If you were to bet on South Carolina to get it done and you added maybe $10, $90 is how much it pays out. So just keep that in mind. If you want to throw a flyer down on an upset, now's the time to do it before the odds get drastically, brought down and you're not going to get as much profit there. Now, Dog, hit us with the power rankings.
NBA, we start off with only a few more weeks of the NBA.
Yeah, it's actually very close to the end of the season.
It is. At number 10, the Houston Rockets. That's at 10. At number 9, the Minnesota Timberwolves. I have the Pistons now. And even though they're the best team in the Eastern Conference, I have them at number 8.
Yeah.
They've taken a tumble, I think.
Yeah, they got lucky that they locked in a playoff spot when they did, because if they hadn't...
Cade Cunningham and his collapsed lung.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate situation.
At number 7, the Denver Nuggets. At number 6, the Cleveland Cavaliers. At number 5, the New York Knicks. At number 4, the Boston Celtics. At number 3, the Los Angeles Lakers.
Wow.
Unbeatable all of a sudden. What happened there?
Luka.
They figured it out.
Luka turned it on. He's been on fire.
It's now between SGA, Luka, and Wemby. Those are your top.
Yeah, I think Jokic is out of the the race.
Yep.
Is he technically able to qualify?
I don't think he is.
Yeah.
At number 3 is they said the Lakers. At number 2, the San Antonio Spurs. And at number 1, the reigning, defending, undisputed best team in all of the NBA. The reigning defending NBA champ, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who just broke ground on the Continental Coliseum, which will be opening up in 2028. So they're the only Coliseum in the NBA. The Coliseum where people come to see them.
Nice. Right into NHL. We only have a little bit of time.
The Anaheim Ducks at number 10. The Columbus Blue Jackets at number 9. The Boston Bruins at number 8. At number 7, the Montreal Canadiens. At number 6, the Minnesota Wild. At number 5, the Tampa Bay Lightning. At number 4, the Carolina Hurricanes. At number 3, the Buffalo Sabres. They're going to go to the playoffs.
That's crazy.
At number 2, the Dallas Stars. And at number 1, the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, they're still up top, but I put down a futures bet on the Stars, just low key, letting all the bet heads know out there.
All right. At number 10 for MLS rankings, Colorado. At number 9, Real Salt Lake. At number 8, the Seattle Sounders. At number 7, New York City, NYC. At number 6, the reigning defending undisputed champ, Inter Miami FC. At number 5, San Diego FC, who was number 1 at one time. At number 3, you've got number 4, you've got the San Jose Earthquakes. At number 3, you have Vancouver. At number 2, Nashville. And at number 1, LAFC. Not the Galaxy, LAFC.
I'm still riding with Vancouver this season, going Canadian. That's what I'm doing.
You are?
Yeah. That is our power rankings, Dog. Any housekeeping at all? Any games on this weekend? I know the Red Sox
playback.
Yeah, well, yeah. I know the Red Sox are playing this weekend. Anything on the Pulse of New Hampshire?
Here we go. Saturday, 3:10 p.m. We're essentially the pregame before the pregame.
Right.
3:10 pregame. Red Sox at Cincinnati. The Reds. That's a 4:10 first pitch, and then Sunday we'll have a doubleheader. The Red Sox at the Reds. 12:40 pregame. 1:40 first pitch, and then Charlotte, Boston. Something's got to give right there. 5:30 pregame. Celtics, Hornets in Charlotte. 6:05 will be the tip-off.
Exciting, and you can catch it all on the Pulse of New Hampshire radio station. Radio stations. And Dog, you know what time it is.
Dinner time?
Do you hear that rumbling coming in? It's the lightning round. Ready for the lightning round?
I was ready for lunch, but I guess we'll do the lightning round.
The lightning round here on Bet This, my favorite segment.
I've got a lock of the week.
I get to scream lightning round every week. Jay Dawg, one of your favorite segments, because you get to pick and break down. I combined two words there. You get to pick and break down all of our picks for the NBA, NHL weekend matchups. And we've got some NASCAR we're going to talk about.
And
UFL.
UFL, baby.
I know you're excited for that.
You've got UFC, of course.
Yes, I'm going to talk a little bit about
Yeah.
UFC if we can squeeze it in.
Yeah.
So let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
Saturday in the NBA, it's
Yep.
a small matchup slate. We've got San Antonio taking on the Bucks. Who are you picking?
San Antonio.
And this is this is 3 p.m. is the first
So
matchup.
right after Bet This
Yep.
on the radio.
If you're interested in some basketball, tune in. You picked San Antonio over the Bucks.
Mhm.
Heard that. Next matchup, we've got the Pistons at the Timberwolves on ABC.
I'll take the Timberwolves.
Timberwolves heard.
Yep.
The Sixers taking on Charlotte in North Carolina.
Charlotte.
Heard that.
Con Knooples, the rookie of the year.
Amazing.
The con man is going to win rookie of the year.
It's crazy that Cooper Flagg didn't win rookie of the year.
Well,
It,
again, it's not official.
No,
it's looking
it
likely.
looks like, yes.
Likely,
Yes.
not likely.
Sacramento at Atlanta, kind of a snoozer.
No, Atlanta's in. Atlanta right now, they're in the top 6 right now.
No, I know, but Sacramento's a snoozer.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'll take Atlanta.
Heard that.
2 capital cities, by the way.
Chicago at Memphis.
Ooh, you said snoozer on that. Jaw's out for the rest of the year, by the way.
Yeah.
His trade value is going to plummet even more. Nobody wants him. Not even Memphis. I will take Memphis though.
Okay. Utah at Phoenix, 10 o'clock.
Phoenix.
Heard that. Sunday, Clippers at Bucks.
Clippers.
Miami at Indy.
Miami.
Sacramento at Brooklyn. That's a snoozer.
Oh.
That's a stay away.
Oh, I'll take Sacramento.
Heard that. Celtics at Charlotte. Previewed this on the Pulse of New Hampshire housekeeping we talked about earlier.
Yeah. It's on the radio on Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, Boston at Charlotte. Who you
I'll
taking?
take Boston.
Ooh, okay. Magic at Toronto.
Toronto.
Heard that. The Wizards at Portland.
I'll take the Trailblazers.
Yeah, Wizards are very bad.
Wizards are woeful.
Houston at New Orleans.
Houston.
Yep. Knicks at OKC.
Oh wow, is that
7:30 on NBC.
that's Sunday night basketball? That's right. I'll take OKC.
Yeah, they're so dominant. Although the Celtics beat them recently.
That was in Boston.
Yes. Golden State at Denver. This is also on NBC, 10 o'clock.
Denver.
Heard. And that is your basketball. Let's move on to hockey Saturday. And let's start with after 3 p.m. We've got Anaheim at Edmonton. Who you taking?
Anaheim.
Anaheim heard. Minnesota at Boston.
I will take the Bruins.
The Bruins
Yeah.
heard. Stars at Pens.
Oh wow. I'm going to take the Pens.
Heard. Wow. Okay.
It's in Pittsburgh, so
Devils at Carolina.
Carolina.
Heard. San Jose at Columbus.
Who do you think?
Got to take
I'm
Columbus.
taking Columbus.
Celebrini though is.
Well, how did that work out against St. Louis when Hollywood Holloway scores the game winner in overtime?
It's true. Seattle at Buffalo.
Buffalo.
They're on fire. Toronto at St. Louis.
It takes St. Louis.
We've got Montreal at Nashville.
Montreal.
Winnipeg at Colorado.
Colorado.
Yeah, easy. Philly at Detroit.
Detroit.
Utah at Kings.
I'll take the Mammoth. I'll take the Utah.
Okay, on the road.
Mammoth, yep.
Vancouver at Calgary, kind of a snoozer. That's 2 of the worst teams.
Yeah. Calgary.
Calgary heard. Washington at Vegas.
Oh, that's a good rematch of the 2018 Stanley Cup final. I'll take Vegas.
Heard that. Vegas needs to lock in at the end of the season here. And just a couple of matchups, couple of games here on Sunday for hockey. Florida at the Rangers.
I'll take Florida.
Yeah, if Florida's bad this year, the Rangers are worse. I'm a Rangers fan. They're bad this year. Nashville at Tampa.
Tampa Bay.
Heard that. Montreal at Carolina. That's a good matchup, I feel like.
Carolina.
Heard that. The Bruins at Columbus.
Taking Columbus, baby.
Of course. Chicago at the Devils.
Devils.
Heard that. And the Stars at Philly to end your Sunday hockey slate. Stars heard.
So they're doing the Keystone trip. They're doing Pittsburgh and then Philadelphia. Okay. Yeah.
And then as we have a little bit of time, Jay Dawg, let's talk NASCAR. Just let the bet heads know about Tyler Reddick and how incredible he's been. And let me get the UFL up here so we can get the odds for you, because Jay Dawg is ready for some UFL football
Lock
action.
of the week.
We have There was a matchup on Friday. A game, excuse me. There was a game.
Not MLS.
There's a game on Friday, so we're not going to cover that. But Saturday, we have a few games to cover. The DC Defenders has already started. If
you're on the radio on Saturday.
Yeah, you are going to miss it. But the DC Defenders are taking on the St. Louis Battlehawks. You might be able to catch it. Who you taking in that one?
I'm taking the St. Louis Battlehawks, and I'm taking the money line as my lock of the week.
Lock of the week is the St. Louis Battlehawks. Plus 180 right now. Odds are subject to change, of course. After that, we've got Houston Gamblers at Dallas Renegade. Gamblers heard. And then the Aviators at the Orlando Storm. Columbus Aviators.
Yes, I'm taking Lumbus.
Heard that. And then real quick, big UFC fight this weekend. Well, actually, let me tell you, NASCAR this weekend at Martinsville. They have back-to-back short tracks. Martinsville this weekend, Bristol next weekend. So some exciting races if you like crashes and things like that. You're going to get them in these next 2 weekends. And then for UFC, Israel Adesanya back in the octagon. Izzy, many anime fans and MMA fighters love Izzy. He opens up as the favorite at minus 148 on the money line. That is this edition of Bet This.
Next week, when we do Bet This, I'll give you the update of what's going on the playback. There's a ton going on in the month of April on the playback, and we'll update it next week.
Yes, and you'll be able to find all of it on Spotify. Search Bet This, search Bet This CJ, Bet This Jay Dawg. Find us there. Find us on YouTube at Bet This. Find us on Instagram at Bet This Pod, Bet This P on X. And if you're going to bet this,
what?
I messed
Try
you
that
up.
again.
If you're gonna bet
this.
And we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Bet This is for entertainment purposes only. Always gamble responsibly and never wager more than you can afford to lose. Our advice is not a guarantee of success. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call the National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-522-4700 or visit ncpgambling.org for resources.